Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. So, I am here. I am here with Married at First Sight season. I don't know. I am going to run through the first, is it 4 episodes? Now, if y'all ever watched my Married at First Sight reviews before, which I haven't done it in a really long time because, like, I could not do last season. With Paige, when shows mentally take me to a place where I feel like I'm really about to like snap, I can't do it. So I had to stop. I couldn't do the Paige and Chris situation. It was too much for me. But I'm back around this time. Now, if you know, like I said, if you know my reviews, you know I normally don't review. I never review like pretty much like the first couple of episodes, like when they're showing the individual people. I never review that, and I never even really half the time really want to review the actual wedding, and half the time I don't even really start watching until like the weddings are over and it's pretty much like the first night. So let's just get into, like I said, I'm gonna run through the first 4 episodes pretty much, and I'll kind of go through each episode slash each couple. So we have Lindsay and Mark, Jasmina and Michael. Do you say, is it Noy? I think it's Noy and Steve, ALYSSA and Chris, and then Katina and Olajuwon. And we are in Boston, a really white ass city. So here we go. So by the time I started watching, and I think I started watching like episode 2 or whatever, like Lindsay and Mark pretty much was already married. So we're going to get them out the way. So I'm going to go couple by couple like I normally do. So Jasmina and Michael. So let me see. What do I think? What I got here? So to me, Jasmina kind of looks like a mixture of Cynthia and Marjorie. Like she looks like she could be Cynthia and Marjorie's sister, and that's from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's what she gives me. But she's a really, really beautiful black woman. And then we meet Michael. Michael, he seems like a really nice young man. He lost both of his parents, so his siblings are like really, really important to him. I thought that his best friend looked like Stephen Curry. That was just my opinion. I got from the outside looking in, it seems like it will work because it seems like they're both very serious about making the whole situation work. Now, Jasmina was initially very, very nervous, but you know, she got over it. When she came down the aisle, he just kept saying, wow, 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 wow. Like I said, Michael seems extremely genuine to me, but I don't want to be fooled because I've been fooled before and I don't want to be fooled again. Then we get to after the wedding. Let me see what I got here. We pretty much learned that Jasmina is really into like Korean culture and Marvel and stuff like that, but he's not really into TV. And then I have here for the reception that he's really feeling it, that she's a little bit more hesitant than he is. And I think if any problem that they have, it might be that like he's really super open and she's kind of hesitant. So that's all I got for Jasmina and Michael for like the wedding part. Okay, then we have, like I said, Lindsay and Mark. They were already pretty much married, but the notes that I have here that I took from their wedding is that she's concerned about all his cats. I think he got like 3 or 5 cats or something like that. It's a lot. That Lindsay is extremely outgoing and Mark isn't as outgoing as she is. I'm not really sure. Now in the beginning I'm not sure how those will really work. And they both connect very much so on a mother's perspective because they both have like issues with their mom. But other than that, they seem like they're really flowing well and the conversation's really easy. All right. Then we got Katina and Olajuwon. Olajuwon is a playboy, okay? And Katina used to be a party girl, but they both pretty much just want to sit their ass down. Katina said, I have down here that Katina said that she's tired of being the only one without a kid and being the only person not married. I don't think that's a good reason to get married. I think you should get married because you want to, not because you don't want to feel left out, but that's just my opinion. Olajuwon family thinks that the only problem that could possibly happen is that his expectations are really too high, which it ain't him. It's somebody else. We gonna get to her. That's why I gotta hear you because we gotta get to her. He's a little cocky. But in general, he was really, really attracted to her. And then for that episode, we had Noy and Steve, which I'll get to them in a second. The only thing that I had for Noy and Steve for that episode is that he didn't have a job, and I didn't understand that. So let's move on to episode 3. Now, episode 3 wasn't really a whole lot going on. Let me see, because I really want to get to episode 4. I really do. So let me just get here, see what I got. Nothing really happened with Steve and Noy. Oh, except we learned that he got laid off and he did a 4-month road trip, which is why he wasn't working. Okay. Let's see. Alyssa and Chris, baby. Alyssa and Chris, because we did not talk about them. So Chris is extremely goal oriented. Alyssa's a little bit more calmer. She's not like really, really super hard, I think, as far as like working. And she says she's not going in expecting. This is what bothers me. Alyssa went into this saying, because I have it written down right here, I'm not going into this expecting everything to work. But once you got actually married, that's exactly what you expected. But we'll get there. So after the wedding, what else we know about them? So we learned that she's into social media marketing, and that's what she does for a living, and that he's really into things like frisbee golf, which when he said it, she was kind of like, I mean, okay, so what? So what if it's a hobby you don't like? It's something that he likes to do. Her mom said that she's like extremely feisty. Like, I guess that's something to know about her. Okay, this part right here. Because Chris, your friends and your family didn't really help you out here. So Alyssa goes over to meet Chris's friends, right? So Chris's friends, they ask her, like, what was your first impression of him? Now, I'm going to just be really, really real when it gets down to it. I just think that Alyssa is not physically attracted to Chris. And I think because she does not know him, that's all she really has to go off of. So between her not being physically attracted to him, plus what his friends told her, plus what his family ends up saying later, I think these two things just gives her a reason to even more not pretty much want to talk to him or get to know him. But yeah, so when they asked her what was her first impression, she didn't really answer, which to me gave me my answer of, okay, you're not physically attracted to this man because you don't know him personality wise to say that you don't like him or y'all don't get along. He wasn't rude, calling you a bitch or being disrespectful. So to me, I just took that as you're not physically attracted to him. But they also said that he can be condescending and he can be extremely overbearing. And that pretty much kind of like really turned her off. And then when Chris was talking to Alyssa friends, they said that she normally don't go for really nice guys. And yeah, pretty much that. Okay, and like I have in my notes, I don't think that she was physically attracted to him, and that's just pretty much my motherfucking opinion on that. Before I get to what happened at the end of that episode with them two, let me double check to make sure nothing happened out with Katina. And I'm sorry, y'all, that this first review is really all over the place, but that's because I was going through the first 3 episodes. I promise you going forward it'll be more structured. I just want to see if there was anything else important, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so sticking on Alyssa and Chris. So the weddings are over. Pretty much it's time for everybody to go up to their room. We see all of the couples go up to their room and stuff like that. But then we get to Chris and Alyssa. Chris is sitting outside, not sitting outside, but sitting in a little lobby and stuff like that. And he's a little bit confused as to what the hell is going on. So then we pan over, and I won't say pan over, but we go over to Alyssa. And Alyssa is pretty much talking to the producer, talking to the camera, pretty much saying how she's extremely uncomfortable. Well, I will say this. Alyssa friends told Chris that she's like, it takes a long time to get to know her and that she probably wouldn't want to sleep in the same bed with him that night. They did tell him that, which ended up being what it was. She said that she didn't feel comfortable standing in the same room with him or whatever. But she pretty much said that I don't like a lot of the things that were said to me tonight, and I'm just like extremely uncomfortable right now, and you know, I just don't feel like we're a good match. So I would just feel better if we can just pretty much, you know, like sleep in separate rooms. So I'm just sitting here like, okay, girl, you said, don't worry, we'll get to it. Because I really want to get to episode 4. Where we at? Okay. So let's really get into it. So this is going to start how the majority of my reviews really going to go. So this is going to be a combination of me going couple. I'm going to go couple by couple, and then I'm going to do them all together when we get into Puerto Rico. Kind of, sort of. So as far as Lindsay and Mark are concerned, I don't really have a lot to say about them prior to them getting to Puerto Rico. They seem to be really getting along very, very well, especially, you know, the night after. They felt really, really comfortable with each other. So boom, them two are okay. Jasmina and Michael, prior to them leaving for Puerto Rico, they, as you guys know, they always meet up with like each other's families and stuff like that. And the only thing that I really kind of picked up between Jasmina and Michael is that Jasmina's mama was really concerned about the fact that Michael said that he never saw like a good marriage or anything like that, or what a marriage should look like. And she said that that's like really concerning, but it's kind of exciting. But she seemed really, really worried about it. But at the same time, her mama said that Jasmina has seen a good marriage and a bad marriage. I don't think that you should fault Michael or look at him differently or be concerned because he hasn't seen what a good marriage looks like. He hasn't seen what any marriage looks like at all. So I feel like that gives him a little bit more of a cleaner slate, but I don't think it's right to like just straight judge him. Like I get where the mama is coming from, but there's plenty of people who's never been in a marriage or seen their parents in a marriage and do just well and are wonderful husbands and wives and things like that. So yeah, because I think what Michael said is a good point. Like, yeah, I might have never seen a marriage, you know, but I do know from my mom and my sisters how to treat a woman and pretty much just how to be a good person. So yeah. Let's see. Katina and Olajuwon. The only thing I really have from them two is that when they went to go meet up with each other's people, like I said. So Olajuwon went to go meet up with Katina's like friends, and 2 of them was a girl and 1 of them was a guy. Now I'm not gonna hold y'all. I skipped past like almost all of this because I really, especially the first couple episodes, I was fast forwarding through a lot of things. But I did notice that when Olajuwon in the beginning, because I watched the little bit part of him talking when he first got to the table, but I could see that the guy in the corner, I'm like, oh, you could tell he ain't with the shit. And so then when I fast forward later to Katina and Olajuwon talking, Olajuwon brings up the fact that he feels like Katina's friend doesn't like him. And at the end of the day, he doesn't really give a fuck if he like him or not because, you know, I'm here and it is what it is. So I was like, okay, hopefully that doesn't become a problem down the road. Let's see. For Noy and Steve, main thing there was, where's your job? And I want to know the same thing. I don't understand. Okay, now Steve said that he got laid off and then he decided to go on this 4-month road trip, and then this just kind of happened. I don't understand what do you mean that married at first sight just kind of happened. That's nothing where it's like with, you know, they're Ed McMahon and they show up with $1 million check. That's not how that goes. You have to go through a whole process. So my thing was, did you start this process before you got laid off or after you got laid off? And once you was actually in a process and you got laid off, didn't you think it would be best if, I don't know, you went and you like found the job? Because I don't understand how you're supposed to have a whole wife and be and get in a whole marriage, but you don't have a way to help provide. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I did get what he said later about, you know, we have to figure out, because she was like, what are you planning on doing about getting a job? And he's like, well, we have to have a conversation and plan out like where we're even going to be. I get that, but you need to get to the bills, honey. You need, and I know he freelances, but you need to get to the money. Okay. So that's that. ALYSSA. Oh, we'll get to ALYSSA and Chris. Let me see here. Anybody else? Is there anybody else? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? All right. ALYSSA and Chris. Let's get back to them. So we leave off where we left off last episode, where they're in the lobby, like I said, and she's telling him that she's uncomfortable. Now they go upstairs so she can go and get her stuff out the room. And he's saying to her, like, do you want to talk off camera? Like, because obviously he's very confused because the whole night, everything seemed to be going fine. She never said anything to him. That's my boyfriend calling y'all. He never said anything to her, about anything. Everything seemed fine. So again, he's like, do you want to talk about it off camera? She was like, no, I think it would be better if we just talked about it in the morning time. And it's like, damn, you can't even give him the benefit of the doubt because you somewhat talked about it, but you didn't. You turned around to him and said, I feel uncomfortable about some of the things that was said to me tonight. And you just left it at that. Like, you shouldn't have said nothing at all because now you're half-assing it. And it was actually really, really pissing me off because every season of Married at First Sight, we have somebody who does this and it really makes me mad. Like, really, really, really makes me mad. So the next morning happens, right? And Chris tells us, the viewing audience, that at like 3 o'clock in the morning, that ALYSSA pretty much, wanted to talk to him off camera and told him off camera that we just don't vibe well. Excuse my language. Bitch, it's been less than 24 hours. What are you talking about that y'all don't vibe very well? I'm confused because I was watching the show just like everybody else. It didn't really seem like from his side there was really much of a problem. It didn't seem like like I said, she was acting awkward, which I can understand to a degree. But to say that y'all don't vibe at all, you didn't give y'all a chance to vibe. What do you mean? The most time that y'all really spent with each other alone was right after the wedding, when it was just y'all two sipping a little stuff. Outside of that, y'all are surrounded by all of these people. Yes, you're sitting next to him and all of this other stuff and having little small conversations with him. But at the end of the day, let's really be real about it. This is what's going to make me mad. ALYSSA, let's be real. Because even Lifetime flashed back a little bit later when you got into an argument with him and you said how, if you seen that he had a snaggle tooth and all this other stuff, because Chris don't got the best teeth in the whole wide world, that you will want to turn a corner. Let's be real, ALYSSA. You are not physically attracted to this man or was not off rip. So that already made you want to turn your nose up to him. And then when his friends said whatever it is that they said, you use that as ammunition to pretty much fuel your reasoning as to why you don't even want to get this man a chance. Let's be real about it, because that's all it is. And I don't want to hear nothing else about it. So let's keep going. So then she meets his family, and because I'm sitting here wondering, how is this going to go when you didn't even sleep with him last night? So... Oh, sorry. Before we get to the family, she also sat him down and pretty much said that, I just feel like we're extremely different. We have extremely different hobbies. We have extremely different personalities. And it's like, I said what I said. We'll get there. So she's annoying as fuck. She really irked the hell out of me. Where we got on time? Okay. So then she goes and she meets his family. Like I said, I was really interested in this because I'm trying to understand, how is this supposed to go when you didn't even sleep with this man or be in the same room as him? So then, now, like I said, his friends didn't help and neither did his family, because his family did tell her that he's an extremely, like, really, really, really busy person, and that a lot of times he'll put his job before, like, his wife. Now, like I said, I ain't gonna lie, Chris, your family and your friends ain't helping your case, but at least they're being real. And I feel like ALYSSA is using these things as excuses versus saying, thank you for giving me that information. Thank you for giving me that information. Now, when me and him actually sit down and have a conversation of substance, I can bring these things up and say, hey, your brother told me that, you're really ambitious and, and that there's a possibility that I might come second to your job. And I just want to let you know right now, number one, I wanted to get your input on that, if you agree with that. And secondly, I just wanted to put it out there that that's not how, if you want this to work, that can't happen. I have to come first before everything. You can't be putting your job ahead of me. Or the whole condescending thing. Hey, I talked to your friends. Your friends told me that sometimes you can be condescending. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to be able to fly with me. I don't really do well with that. That's how you handle that. You didn't even give this man a mother. Oh my gosh. I'm really getting fucking aggravated. So this part even aggravated even more. So then everybody gets their boxes about where they're going. They're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Sorry, y'all. That's my dog. Snow. Go. So everybody gets their box and they're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, which I said, that's so dope because I'm going to San Juan, Puerto Rico for my birthday this year. So I thought it was really interesting. You know, I'm looking at everything, taking mental notes for when I go this year for my birthday. So I thought that was dope. But anyway, when they get the box, right, he's sitting up here. Chris is being so nice and trying to work with her, and she keeps taking that and flipping it into something else. So he's saying to her, do you feel, you know, how do you feel, you know, going on this trip? Oh, you know, I mean, I perfectly feel fine. I feel fine. Because he said, how do you feel about going on this trip with me? And then also going on a trip with all the other people in the building. She didn't say shit about him. All she said was, well, you know, I'm glad I can get to be around everybody else. You know, that'd be good to know everybody else. Didn't say shit about him. And so then he was like, well, you know, maybe we can do stuff like, you know, would you like to, you know, we can go try, you know, sightseeing and stuff. She's like, oh, I'm not an explorer. He said, okay, well, you know, maybe we can go shopping. Would you like to do that? I don't want to go shopping. I don't really like that. I just want to kind of sit on the beach. And he said, okay, I mean, yeah, that's fine. We could do that too. And she took that and flipped it and said, oh, he's just a yes man. He's just a yes man all the time. When I said I wanted to sit on the beach, he said, yeah. I mean, you can go and do your own thing too. Bitch, it's a honeymoon. It don't work like that. It's a honeymoon. What do you mean? Oh, you can go ahead and do your own thing. See, outside of, bruh, I really believe Chris when Chris says she's not here for the right intentions. Because specifically when she said, well, we might as well just go ahead and ride it out. Bitch, you're saying that you're on TV, so you might as well just get what you can get out of it. You can get what you can get out of being on TV and get what you can get out of having a free trip to Puerto Rico. That's what you mean. I'm sick and tired of her. She pissing me the hell off. Let's move on. Shall we? Because I don't think that she has the right intentions at all. Don't at all. So we get to Puerto Rico, right? This might have to be a two-part thing. I don't know. No, maybe I can squeeze this in. We get to Puerto Rico. Everybody's getting off the plane. Everybody's having a good time, blah, 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 blah. So then we see Lindsay and Mark. They go into a separate bus by themselves. And so as the audience, we're like, what the fuck is going on? So come to find out, now, before they left, Mark asked Lindsay, has she ever been to Puerto Rico before? She said, yeah, she had been there like 7 or 8 times. She really liked it, all of this other stuff. Mark told us how, you know, Lindsay could kind of speak a little bit Spanish, blah, blah, blah. So apparently when they was on a plane, Lindsay said to Olajuwon, hey, what did she say? Like, do you know how to, can you speak Spanish? And he said, you know, I can speak Spanish a little bit, but I'm pretty much going to speak English when I get there. And she tells him, well, it's their native land and that's their native tongue. So you just need to talk to them like that. And Olajuwon's like, girl, don't try to come over here and tell me what I'm going to do. I'll speak English. And then I guess this whole big thing pretty much like happened, and how she said, oh, she was going to fight him. And then this whole big thing happened. And it's like Olajuwon said on the bus, like, you better watch who you talking to. Talk to your husband like that. But you're not going to come to me as a grown ass man and tell me how I'm going to speak to somebody. And like Katina said, bitch, you're not even Spanish. Bitch, you're not even Spanish. So Lindsay is one of those, she's one of those white women. She's one of those, and it's perfectly fine. So then we go over and we see Lindsay and Mark on a bus together, and, you know, Mark is trying to, you know, be lighthearted, and she's all in tears crying and shit. Who motherfucker cares? So then, you know, everybody gets together. All of the entire group gets together downstairs except Lindsay and Mark. And we see Lindsay, and she's in, you know, the little confessional, holding her thing, telling us pretty much her version of what happened, and saying, he just got so aggressive with me and it shook me to my core. All right, Mimi, you hurt me to my core. Girl, bye. I hate... Baby, you white women in them buzzwords, y'all can keep it. He was so aggressive. I was so shook into my core. Girl, bye. You piped up thinking you was going to tell a grown-ass man what to do. And he told you to sit your lily white ass the fuck down. But now you're shaking to your core. Girl, bye. So Mark came downstairs like the real nigga that he is and apologized on behalf of his ain't shit wife, okay? And Olajuwon accepted it and said he don't need no apology from her. Shout out to Mark. Mark is my guy because he makes a whole lot of sense to me. Let's see. So the only thing that kind of happened, everybody else was pretty cool, kind of on the same page. I think Jasmina and Michael kind of sort of got into it just because of like their views on people. Like Jasmina is very much so positive, and she looks at like everything as like the glass half full, versus Michael, he looks at it like half empty. So it's just that type of thing. But who cares? Let's get to Chris and Alyssa thing, okay? Because I ain't got much time because I really want to get this off my chest. So they get back. So the whole time that they're in Puerto Rico, Alyssa is going out of her way to pretty much dismiss him, act like he's not there, pretty much being a bitch for no reason, right? Not even attempting to attempt. You literally got your ass on that plane and said that you was going to try. No, but you just wanted a free trip. Okay, boom, we got you. So then go upstairs to the room, just her and Chris. And Chris pretty much pulls her to the side like the real nigga, like the real white man that he is. With money, it said, are you going to do this or are you not going to do this? Because otherwise, I don't really understand, why we're here. She goes, well, I just don't feel comfortable staying in a room with you, because I don't know you. Bitch, you married him. And I'm tired because you are like the 15th person that signed up for a show called Married at First Sight. Literally married the person at first sight and then turned around and said that you was uncomfortable with sleeping in the same room as them. Have y'all lost your mind? You married this person. If you are that uncomfortable with dealing with strangers, why would you even put yourself on a show where you have to do this? This is not the first, second, third. This ain't even the 10th fucking season of Married at First Sight. You've watched the show before. You know good and well you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions that you normally wouldn't with a stranger because you are now married to this person and you are now committed to trying to make this shit work. So she's really just fucking stupid as far as I'm concerned. So Chris was pretty much like, are you really trying? Because I don't feel like you're trying. And this is what sent me. Alyssa said, we've been having problems ever since we met. Ever since we met, it's been a difference in personality, beliefs, values, all this other shit. Girl, she's about to really drive me up the wall because I'm really trying not to curse, even though I've cursed 15 times. Y'all haven't known each other for more than 48 damn hours. And you said from the time y'all met, it's been nothing but problems, like y'all met 10 freaking years ago. Are you kidding me? How many problems? Y'all didn't have any problems yesterday, like he said, all the way up, according to him. I mean, from his knowledge, all the way up until the very end, because that whole time during the wedding, you wasn't saying anything to him to give him all vibes like you wasn't feeling him or anything like that. You didn't say anything. And on top of that, like you said, you didn't even, oh my gosh, it's making me so mad. You haven't even had enough time to spend with him and talk to him, like he said, to be able to even come to a judgment. That's why I and Chris and everybody else knows that you're full of shit and you're not really trying. You have not even given this man a chance. Y'all been on this trip, right? So the most time that y'all would have spent together is pretty much from the top of that day. So from the time y'all got on the plane all the way up till y'all was on a balcony and you went out of your way to ignore him. You didn't do anything to try to get to know him, to try to sit down and have a conversation with him. You literally took what everybody else said about him and used that to pretty much excuse the fact that you're not physically attracted to him and you just don't want to be with him because of that. Let's just be real, Alyssa. Why don't you be real and say, I'm not physically attracted to this man, versus trying to use every other excuse in a book as to why you're not trying to even to why you don't fuck with him. You haven't given him a chance. Y'all haven't had more of a conversation. Y'all literally only talked during the wedding. You haven't even given this man a time of day since that night, since the night before. So what do you mean since y'all have met, nothing has worked? Girl, you haven't fucking even tried. Chris, fuck her and go get somebody that's really gonna try. Because that's fine, girl. You can get the bullets all season. Y'all get in the comments from me or something. Come on, bye.